Slow. All out. Oh no, and you see my lifestyle, I got G's in the double. For sure. See many people there outside where they feed man's oboe.
And we're back. Want to say welcome back to it. If you're not joining us, you're super late. Don't make that happen again. All right. So this is tonight on M&ETV. I have Johann here with me, the renowned panist. He's talking about this is a brother. If you were listening to the interview earlier, who's played pan just about everywhere across the world. I want to ask you something.
Tell me, let me hear you.
Have you ever encountered a song or a piece of music that you catch your royal to learn?
Boy, yeah, but it doesn't be in like the popular realms. It wouldn't be soca or kaiso or Latin or jazz. It's more classical.
Oh.
You know, and so when you have to execute classical, you're executing it to the T. You have to execute, you have to sight read it, you have to read the music directly for it. And so they have some pieces that are extremely challenging classically. A lot of the time nowadays, you don't really see me playing classical music, but back in the day when I used to enter music festivals, I won music festivals in 2006, the Open Pan Solo Championship and that sort of stuff. And back then is when you would have seen me playing like complicated classical pieces and stuff. I kind of rusty now because I don't do those things as much. But those are the ones that really jam you and say, oh, good, okay, this is technique, this is a piece, I need to remember this, that kind of thing. You know?
Oh, so in terms of like popular songs, if you're talking songs that trendy, like, you know, you do trendy songs through the season, there's a song that might take off like a black smasher.
Yeah.
So the process for that you learn by ear. That's
So,
not something
correct.
that...
Right now I learn by ear, but I'm also a classically trained musician, so I can sight read as well. I can read music and write music as well. But my preference right now, and I think it comes from growing up in the panyard and learning that way from the other guys in the panyard too, and listening to Boogsy, is to learn by ear. So if you play a song for me, I don't have perfect pitch. I think I have a relative pitch, so I can kind of understand what key is in. I can kind of understand, well, these are the notes, this is the pattern, and go from there. So it comes with a lot of practice. I think it's a bit of a talent as well as practice.
And let me ask this, what are your views on where pan is now in terms of, for the now generation, as we call the Zest generation, the now generation, do you think there is space for pan?
Well, Jaiga, as I always say, pan has a lot of young players. And you see that in the junior panorama, you see that even in some of the steel bands. But one of the contrasts we have is that the audience is an older audience. So if you go panorama, you might see a lot of young kids playing in front of the band and jumping up and having a time. But the audience sitting down there is not your friend. It's not the 18 years old, the 16-year-old, the 50. It's not that age group at all. And so, you know, we need to have a revolution of some sort to kind of change that atmosphere, to encourage the younger generation to become the target audience, to become the listening audience for panorama, pan side, steel bands, pan in general. Now, you would have seen my boy Joshua doing that kind of stuff, Joshua Regrello. And even myself, we're trying that by doing more soca, by giving the audience what they want to hear. People want to hear that soca on pan. People want to hear the collaborations with soca artists. People want to hear the zest. People want to hear tunes that they know. That's how you're going to appeal to that audience, by giving them stuff that they know, executed on a pan in a way that going to open their eyes with, hey, pan could really do this. And that is what we need to try to change. So something about the format of panorama, I think at some point is going to need to be changed in order to encourage a younger audience to come and take it in.
That has always been my personal view, but again, you know, some things are very sensitive.
True.
Especially with the older generation, to try and I always appeal to them to find balance and not necessarily lower their standard, but try and meet the younger generation halfway. We can't just continuously be moving steadfast into what we believe in and not giving the younger ones opportunity. And two, I always appeal to the older audience to listen. Listen to the young people.
But Jaiga, I've been checking it out. Right now, it have a competition that's been going on. Sometimes I think on Facebook and Instagram called Panogramma. It took place over the last couple of months, and they had a winner, international winner. It started because of the pandemic. And what it is really encouraging solo performers from all over the world to participate in a competition. Yeah. And that kind of thing now opens up the genres. It's not only kaiso, it's not only soca, it's not only pan songs they play in. They play in all the different genres from all over the world. So now you're encouraging panists from all over the world to participate in something that's really, truly Trinbagonian, because it started here and established here. And you're also given the opportunity to be versatile with the type of music, the genre of music that's being played. So we could keep the traditional panorama, you know, that everything has a space. The traditional panorama has its space. The traditional arrangements have its space. The traditional pan, kaiso, soca, that has its space. Don't get tired with that at all. But something else needs to happen, maybe a secondary competition, or maybe something else where soloists are involved, or maybe something else where smaller bands or junior bands are involved, to get that young audience going as well.
Yeah, correct. It's true. You understand? But again, you have to, it's one of these things you have to experience. Like I tell people, you cannot just take pan at face value.
True. I mean, being in a Panya, Jaiga, is electric.
You have to. And
being in the
I
savannah for Panorama.
And that is what I think is the problem. The problem has always been trying to reproduce it to sell it,
Correct.
meaning play it on radio or try and view it on television doesn't give you that authentic,
It doesn't do it justice.
vibrant
It doesn't do it justice.
that you need.
Correct.
It's like when you go to a fete, you might hear a song on the radio, it might pass you. You go and see the artist perform that same song.
It's a whole different
Feel
vibe.
the energy of the people.
whole different
Your
vibe.
love for the song changes.
True.
And I think that is what Pan miss. We have never really found a way to encourage, as you were just saying, a younger audience to come to the Savannah, to come to the Panya, outside of school panorama, junior panorama, where you doing it as a piece because you're representing
Correct.
school. So
And even so, you might be doing a piece you don't really want to do.
Exactly.
They're doing an arrangement because, well, they say we're going to do this.
And-
it's not a band
and
choice.
you have no
you know?
say
Correct.
because you're just a student. So
Correct.
musical director say this is song we playing, you're going to learn the song, and you try to learn your part and hush him out.
Correct.
As opposed to again, if you listen to what the youth want and give them an opportunity to say, well, this is the style we want to present, we want to have this kind of competition, we want to do it in a way where they treat it like a party.
Yeah.
Where we have a party atmosphere, we have a thing, so maybe you do it in a way where everybody come and use the same instruments.
Right.
But everybody bring their own players.
Right.
And everybody play different songs.
We have some issues with that. We're still trying to standardize certain instruments. You'll find in certain bands a layout of a pan still a little bit different. You might find a 7-bass layout in phase 2 different from a 7-bass in All Stars, different from a tenor here, different. We still on that route.
Well, I don't know the technical aspects.
No, but we
we
still have work to do in terms of the evolution of the pan side, in terms of evolution of the band, in terms of standardization. But the thing is, everything had to happen at once. It has to happen at once. Everything. There's no time to say, let me wait and evolve this. The evolution has to happen, and it's a forced evolution because the steel pan is the national instrument of Trinidad and Tobago. It's something that's beautiful. It's something that was created out of hardship and struggle and has become something that is celebrated not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but the world over.
Globally.
Everywhere that I've gone, it's been received with amazing reception.
All the time.
People love it everywhere.
Was just in a recent conversation with somebody trying to convince me that the pan was originated in Antigua. That almost ended up in Arab.
Well, no, that's the thing. And so here's my problem too, right? Whenever I travel internationally, and so there's always see a pan, I say, hey, well, it's from Jamaica. They say, oh, yeah, steel drums. It's from Jamaica. I was like, no, brother, that's from Trinidad and Tobago. And so that's the next thing too, you know. Trinidadians always want to jump out and fight when it's here. Next man say, pan from Jamaica, pan from Grenada, or Barbados, or Antigua. But somehow or the other, when we're at home, we do like to pay respect to the things that belong to us and are intrinsic to our culture.
Yeah, that's right. But that's a whole next conversation.
That's our next conversation.
Yeah,
too.
so guys, my brother Johann, I remember, just give people the title, the handles.
Right, you can follow me on Instagram at Chuckaree or on Facebook. Look for me. I have a nice fan page, Johann Chuckaree fan page. I give you all behind the scenes stuff. We just had a concert recently, so you have plenty pictures, plenty video, plenty behind the scenes stuff on both the Instagram and
So
Facebook
any
pages.
more albums, anything working on any
Man,
more time?
I'm taking a little rest right now. It's been a busy, believe it or not, since things have reopened. The last couple of months have been real busy. We came out of Melee in Mexico with Marshall Montano and Voice, performing live with Voice and that sort of stuff. It was a really amazing experience. And coming back into North Coast Jazz a couple of weeks ago up in Blanchishes with my live band. Then my concert this weekend. Last weekend that happened, his story that had Farmer Nappy and Irfan Alves and Nigel Ruas, the piano girl Johann. It was a massive cast of people. And you know, coming out of that, I'm going to take a little breather before August when we're going to be starting back up. So look out for some new events coming up in November.
Nice,
and
beautiful.
hopefully maybe a new Christmas album by the end of this year.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, my brother, for passing through. Guys, as promised, each and every week we try to bring these stars to you. Some you might know, some you might not, but we try to bring them home so at least you will get a taste as to who's happening, what's happening, or what's going on. And as I always say, great is the art form, and it will always prevail. Until next week, same time, same place, it's your boy Jaiga saying, we out. Love. Come on.
And I've been living fast life, but I see it in slow. Oh no, and you see my lifestyle, I got G's in the double. See many people there outside where they feed man's oboe. Oh no.